All right, everybody. Welcome to Waconia Wrestling Live. Your host, as always, it's Jeff Catherman. Joining you September 23rd here, 2023. Pretty cloudy, muggy, rainy day ahead of us, but thought I'd give you some podcasting entertainment and news. That's the objective of today's I don't know if it's really a podcast. It's really more of a video with a bunch of announcements and news and information. They're recording live. Still becoming a pro at this social media, podcasting, video recording, video editing game. The video editing game isn't quite elite yet, so not super comfortable editing my own video. So I just feel like let's just do it live, and that's how things go. But anyway, we got a really fun agenda of content for everyone today. Lots going on here. It's the peak of fall sports season. I know many parents, kids, etc., are still focused on their fall activities, back to finding, getting into the back to school groove, probably tests, quizzes, things like that happening at school. Lots of things happening at work, end of year. From in my realm of work, end of year budgeting, things like that. But those are boring things. We want to talk about wrestling, and that's the topic of today. Is just kind of the looking ahead to the youth season. That's going to be among the topics today. We've got our annual youth free clinic. It's going to be 2 days away on the 25th of September here on Monday night, 7 o'clock. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about the just our youth programs and our co-ed and our girls programs we have scheduled for this year, what those entail, what the registration, how to get registered, costs, etc., what it includes, timing. And then we're going to talk about the upcoming homecoming parade, just the second. It's going to be back-to-back years of our homecoming parade in Waconia High School for the upcoming football game next Friday. Waconia has not had a homecoming parade for many, many years. It started last year by a group of parents that got it coming back. And so this is the second consecutive year of that. And we're going to talk a little bit about our Waconia Wrestling float for that and how to get involved in that. So that's really our agenda for today. We're also going to have some upcoming podcasts, I hope, just relative to the upcoming youth season to provide you some testimonials and some discussions with our youth parents that have navigated the program either as newbies the last couple of years, last year or so, and or those that have become veterans in the youth wrestling world, and some tips and tricks of the trade, how they navigated it, some advice, and just some cool stories. So that's the agenda for tonight. And next we're going to talk about the clinic. So I'm going to toggle over to our screen here. We've got our youth clinic that's going to be this Friday, this Monday. Sorry, as I mentioned, September 25th, 7 to 8 p.m. If you want to show up a little bit before that, that's great. We will have some additional information to hand out. We'll have a pizza party at the end for those that want to just, you rushed out of the house, you didn't quite get food, a full slate of food ready so we'll have pizza for the kids. It's for pre-K through sixth graders. We're advertising this as a beginner clinic, but for those that are experienced returning kids, as many of you know, there's activities for them as well. We are going to probably have we will have a practice in the wrestling room for the returning kids with our high school coaches. And then in the big gym, we're going to have Coach Avery leading a clinic as he normally does, and a very unique way of running practice that he does, and really engaging, fun way for everyone to experience the sport. And so we want to really get, brothers, sisters, neighbors, cousins, family members, friends, etc. If you've got anybody that is, or if you are mildly interested in what's the sport of wrestling all about, and it's not just our Waconia kids, for those that want to join our program, great, but we have opened this up to others as well. Our friends at Min USA advertise this as well. This is a free clinic for anybody. You could be from Woodbury and the east side of the metro. And if you want to come, that's totally great. It's all about growing the sport of wrestling. Number one, that's why we do what we do. And for those that want to be a part of our program, great. This is a little bit of a recruiting tool for that. But anyway, it's a great opportunity to get to know the sport of wrestling, to get to know some people in the Waconia wrestling community, and just have a fun evening together. And so it'll be a little bit of parents are welcome as well, just to check it out. And you don't have to drop off and then leave and then come back. You could do that if you wanted, but we kind of want parents to stay and see what it's all about, especially for those that are new to the sport. And at 7:30, we're going to have a kind of a breakout session for the parents, kind of a Q&A session, a little bit of a overview of the programs and other things like that, and also to address questions. But this is one of the first years where we've ever kind of done a little bit of a promo of it in this format. So please share and spread this for those that are on the fence. It's going to be a great event. We always have in the range of 30 to 50 new kids checking things out. Also, we want any of our girls we're forming a girls program. We'll talk a little bit about that later, but we are forming a girls program this year, dedicated practices for those girls that want to just practice with other girls. They're female wrestlers. All of our programs to date have been co-ed, and we have those practices as well. And so for girls that register this year, they can do both. They can do your girls practices and the co-ed. So a lot of fun things with that. But yep, this is our flyer we've been sharing. Please, it's out there on our Facebook page. So please share that across the masses, across your networks. And yeah, we're looking forward to a great event on Monday, and appreciate everyone that is planning to help out with that. Let's see here. Remove that, and we're going to talk a little bit about our club program details. So we're going to get a little bit into the logistics of what is included. I have a list of questions that I'll go through, but let's talk just a little bit about our different programs we have. We have for pre-K and kindergartners, we have a program called the Junior Grapplers, and that started years ago. We used to have pre-K and kindergartners with we call it a novice group. That was with first graders, etc. We just got to have so many pre-K and kindergartners. Last year we had 45 pre-K and kindergartners in our Junior Grapplers program. So it's become its own program. And so those practices are once a week, mid-November through the end of January. And there's a couple of Mondays where we have the school days off. So I think it's Martin Luther King Day. And yeah, so it's pretty much like 8 to 10 practices is really all it is. So once a week, it's really light and easy. We really want to get kids exposed to the sport and enjoying and associating physical exercise with fun. And that's the main goal of it. They will learn a couple of moves and positions, but it's really just a great way to get them moving and understanding good stance, good position. But not to get too technical here, but it's really about fun and getting a buy-in to the sport. Our next program we have is the novice and intermediate program. So this is for kids first grade to sixth grade that have either 0 years of experience or maybe 1 to 2, and they're just kind of still getting acclimated into the sport. Maybe they do 1 or 2 tournaments a year, but not super serious yet, but kind of growing into it. And so that's the novice and intermediate program. That is normally going to meet on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, probably 5:30 to 6:30, just like we've done in prior years. And also the Junior Grapplers is from 5:30 to 6:30 on Monday night. But novice is then Tuesdays and Thursdays, twice a week, November through end of January. So that is the novice intermediate program. Our next program is for our most experienced kids, kind of advanced / elite. This is a program that is for our kids, probably 3 years or more of an experience. For those that are sixth graders, fifth or sixth graders that want to, really want to buy into the sport, want to get acclimated and jump right in. This is the practice that we kind of recommend for them. For those that really want to take it easy, we this year would say you're welcome to start in the novice intermediate program, and then if you kind of meet the criteria to graduate, feel free to jump to the advanced. So you can register for either. I would say for those that are still a little tentative, start novice and register there. You're not bound, unlike some of the other sports. You're not really going to be bound by what you register for. We really want to just match up kids with the right level of practice partners, and that will combine their maturity level, their age, their grade, and then their skill level. That is the goal of these different practices. So that will also be Tuesdays and Thursday nights after the intermediate novice program. So it'll probably be around 6:45 till 8:15, or 8 to 8:15. I think as we get deeper into the season, the practices will go for 90 minutes, but we've really probably followed into a 75-minute or hour and 15-minute practice is pretty normal for what we do. But the schedule will come out. We'll publish that in early November when we have a parents meeting just prior to the start of practices. And then last, we're going to talk about the girls only program for all of our female wrestlers, kindergarten through 12th grade. So it's not just a youth program, but it's also for any high school girl wrestlers that want a dedicated practice throughout the week that's just with other girls. We are not sure how the numbers for the high school program or the 7th through 12th grade program will shake out. So we wanted to provide this to those female wrestlers to have at least a once a week opportunity. We are taking this as a lesson learned from other girls programs that have really started to gain mass throughout the state. Stillwater, Forest Lake, they did a lot of these same types of things as they were starting their girls program, and now they have 10 to 20 plus at least girl wrestlers every year in their high school program. So we're starting to do that, and that's our strategy. So for those that do register for 7th through 12th grade, this is in addition to that. And so we definitely want for girls to participate in the high school league activities, tournaments. There's lots of tournaments emerging now at the high school league level. There's girls state, that's now a sanctioned sport. There's its own state tournament that goes in parallel with the boys in the March timeframe. So we would encourage those to register for that through the high school activities office. And then if you want this dedicated girls practice, we will have that opportunity for you as well. So that is, and if there's questions that emerge for those that are online here while we're recording live here, feel free to put those in the comments and I'll try to answer those for you. As I mentioned, the season starts the week of November 13th. And then for the advanced group, our state tournament, kind of our postseason really starts in that February through end of March, early April timeframe. So we will, beginning in February, consolidate to one practice a week for the co-ed portion. The girls portion will continue. So that will be Mondays, and then the co-ed portion would be kind of Monday nights. Then after that, then Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so for kids that are in that junior grapplers and novice, kind of have to meet some criteria to join the advanced group that will continue to practice in February and March. It'd be kind of I'd say a joint decision with the coaches and with parents on that, if it's appropriate for your kid, if they're ready for it. That's just our strategy we do, and there'll be additional registration fee for everybody for that second season. But as we get closer into the season, we'll share more about that. Program fees. So this is also another big FAQ. So junior grapplers is $60 a wrestler. Novice and intermediate, advanced, and girls are all $110 a wrestler. Plus, for all kids, you can either, if you don't have a USA Wrestling membership yet, you can buy that at checkout, and we will then pay USA Wrestling for that and then send you information on how to set up your account. But that's a requirement we have. Now, with USA Wrestling membership fees, you get entry into all those USA Wrestling tournaments um, in addition to those registration fees for those tournaments. But to even walk in the door and to even register for those tournaments, you got to have a USA Wrestling membership first. But I would say most importantly, beyond that, you get a little bit of accident and injury protection as well with that membership. So it's a small little insurance policy. If you get injured, not just it covers you once you buy it until the end of the year. If you're um, in a wrestling practice or tournament, if you get injured, there's an insurance claim you can file, and it's very simple. And that's come in very, very handy. For those one-offs and those unfortunate situations where someone does get hurt. It's something that we require for that. In addition, there's liability protection with it and some other things like that. There's all you get access to the entire USA Wrestling thing of benefits, and you can go to usawrestling.org. I think it's yeah, I'll include that in the comments on how it is, but you can go to their website. But anyway, all of this information is on the website as well. In addition to the USA Wrestling membership fees, you can buy singlets at checkout, as well as extra T-shirts for parents, brothers, sisters, etc. Every registration includes a complimentary T-shirt. For those that register by October 1st, you are guaranteed a T-shirt. If you register after that, you may not be guaranteed a T-shirt. So important discussion there, and that's why we have the early registration going on right now, is to help us get that T-shirt and singlet order, so that when we start wrestling about a month later, all the T-shirts and singlets are in, and we have that all taken care of. So as I mentioned, we're in the early registration period right now, discounted prices through October 1st. So for those of you that are listening to this or listen to this in the future, this week, we're about a week away from prices going up. So recommend getting on it unless you want to pay $25 more per wrestler. That will be the deadline. So October 2nd, prices go up by $25 a wrestler. So really recommend folks getting registered this week. I'm going to pull up our flyer. This is on the website. And as you can see, it talks about the open house, talks about all our programs, talks a little bit about the fees. 1 second here, I'm gonna hide that. Got any questions? I've got my information on there on the website. And for those that are returning wrestlers, remember to log in. If you registered any years in the past, you need to log into your Sport Engine account, and that's our website. That is how we do how we do registration. Make sure you register under your account, and then everything will come up more easily, because you got to scroll to the very bottom when you go into that registration link on the website. So that's how we register for the season. So get registered now. Registration for the late period after October 2nd, we'll probably keep that open until the Sunday prior to practices. And if space is available, we'll keep it open. But if not, we will probably close down registration right before practices start. We've advertised we're going to close registration on November 11th or November 12th, which would be that Sunday before the start of practices. So that's that. Waconia Wrestling Float. We are having a float for this, as I mentioned in the intro, for the homecoming parade next Friday. And so what we're going to be telling when we send out everybody an email, and we'll send out a notification via SportsU as well. But for our Waconia Wrestling team, 7th through 12th graders that aren't part of the football float and that kind of stuff, feel free. We want you to join us and be a part of the float. We're going to meet at the Waconia Middle School parking lot, which is where the parade will start on Friday, the 29th. 3:30, meet there by then. I know it's right after school. And then we're going to decorate the next hour, 45 minutes, etc., until the parade starts. And plan to have some candy to give away. We're going to have a bunch of our flyers ready to talk about just the club programs we're going to be advertising. We're bringing some of our yard signs like we did last year, and probably some music. But please bring some decorations and others. other things like that you want to be part of the parade with. Everyone this year, something new, we're going to have everyone sign waivers. So all parents, all kids that want to be part of it, you got to have a parent sign your waiver and get that to me that Friday. That is it. I wanted to keep today a little quick, a little short and sweet, but it's been a great fall ahead of us, and I can't wait for the winter sports season to start. I want to give a shout out as well to our Waconia wrestlers that have especially been on the fall sports teams across soccer and football and cross country. It's been great to see just kids growing in other sports and with that wrestling mindset helping drive that competitive fire. And I had a fun time watching the football team last night. Had a tough loss at Chanhassen, but had a great performance. So shout out to all of our Waconia wrestlers out there on the football team, and keep working hard. And can't wait to see what the rest of the season says. The same thing with soccer, same thing with cross country. Appreciate everyone's hard work out there, but wrestling season's coming up, so wanting to get around everybody's radars. Don't see any questions coming up, so I'm just great to really grow our social media channels and our media platform like this. Our podcast series is kind of our 10th podcast we've done. So excited to celebrate that milestone. But also, if you're a fan of this podcast, please go to YouTube and give us a like, give us a subscribe for sure. And then when we do go live, click the notification bell so that you get alerted that we are live and can get all the great content, stay caught up. So beyond that, appreciate everyone tuning in today, and hope to see you all this coming week at our clinic and then at the homecoming parade. So until then, go Wildcats, and appreciate everyone working hard this fall. See you next time.